We got all these things set it up in our calendar, and we know when our classes are. Along with those, I should add on to in the calendar, you should put your major assignments, and the final exam date won't be known that time, but all the major assignment, you put it the deadline dates in there with the reminder, at least two reminder. One is 1 week before and one is 2 or 3 weeks before. So remind, okay, in 3 weeks you got it, because your lecturer, your boss, not gonna remind you about your work. It's not school anymore where you get 3 reminder, 2 reminder, and the note is sent to your home. No, they're gonna just give you this. That unit outline, a subject introduction pages are basically contract between you and your teacher boss. They know that they told you on that day you got assignments. No, your job is to remember it. Okay, and I'll tell you why. So you make sure that you understand the whole requirement for getting those marks or whatever the assessment they put it forward to you. You understand it and you do them as per the plan. Calendar is helping you to remember it. And you come, for example, you have an 11 o'clock lecture or class or whatever, and you come at 9 o'clock. You come at 9 o'clock. So what are you going to do in the 2 hours earlier than that? That's very, very important time. Very important time where you just, that many students don't do. I'm going to go through again. You read the chapter or the slide they uploaded. Some teachers upload the slide 1 week before, and some do after the lecture for certain points, and some give all the lecture notes for all the lectures to the online. Some don't do. So you need to work differently with a different teacher, but some way or form from the book, a textbook. If they don't upload, you ask them which chapter you're going to cover next week, and make sure you go through those lecture notes like a novel. A slide should just flick around and see what are the concepts you already know. Because remember, every learning is based on your previous learning. They never give you brand new learning. They always use previous learning. So bit of things you will know, and the bit of things you won't know. There'll be always 50 or 40, 60 proportion where 60% you already know thing, 40% you don't know. What you don't know is very important for you to know, because that is what you're going to learn from the lecture. Other people, they're not prepared, they just come. So for the 40% you don't know, or 30% or 50%, your focus will be to learn about those things. And you will already have a question in your mind. Write down those questions. Averagely, I say to people, spend 20 minutes or 30 minutes, spend time on reading about the lecture or learning you're going to learn. Just know about what you're going to learn today. That will make a huge difference, because you are the one will have a question hand ready. Because if you don't know what you're going to learn, when you go there, by the time you think of a question, he's on the next slide. You're not going to be giving 20 seconds what I'm giving to you to ask me something. And also other people will have having a hands up as well. And this will, if you put a hands up and you ask a question, which are the hard one, teacher will appreciate, because these are the things he wants other students to understand fully, because these are the things will be in the assessment. I'm going to cover something very, very important now. They want you to learn something by yourself, but they give you support. So whatever they're going to cover in a lecture is a concept. And they want you to practice that concept in the tutorial or a prac work or a group study, a group work. Practice it. And then apply those whatever you practice independently in the assessment. So that's why in the lecture, whatever they explain, they want you to practice it in tutorial with the guided. There'll be tutor or there'll be somebody there to help you out to understand. But once you learn it, don't wait for anything. Try to apply into assessment. Whatever the assignment or project work they get, apply it straight away. So you know, if you apply and it works, you know that you understood that concept. So this is how the whole story goes around. So people who skip the lecture and they don't fully there or just sit there, do nothing. I normally, if I get the assessment early, I take my assessment with me in the lecture and try to see and ask question about the assessment, not directly, but indirectly, what concept related to that. So normally 3 or 4 lecture cover one assessment. Most of my example coming from IT background, but if you guys doing another degree, there'll be different. So you can ask me questions if you're doing something differently or you experiencing something differently. By the way, we're going to have another workshop in the middle of a semester, how to manage your study. That time you will have some sort of challenges and you can have some questions as well. Okay, I got this situation, that situation. So this is very important to understand how they design the study for you. They don't spell it out these things for you. They want you to understand. But people who don't do planning and they're not focusing what's happening, what's happened is on the last week of the assessment, they start the assessment and then they have a question, then they go for extension and teacher doesn't like that. Say, look, last 4 weeks you did nothing. Now you want me to give you the solution. Okay. So whenever you go and ask for the help from your teacher, you always show what you have done. So they know you're not asking for help, you're not asking for the solution, you are getting their feedback. Now I'll give you the practical step as a summary. Schedule your credit hours. This is a practical step. So if they say 10 hours, 5 hours is the actual time and 5 hours your personal study on reading your lecture before the actual lecture, reading your book or a slide, whatever. Then you have something to study yourself after the lecture. Then the prac work, they might give you some homework and then some work on the assessment. That is yours. So what happens is everybody rush to the last week to the assessment and then they spend nights and nights. What they get the marks and everything, but they don't get the learning. Okay. So as I said, study the slide and chapter as a novel, highlight on what you didn't get, a clue, so you know that's the focus point, and then focus on in the lecture, ask question. Most probably same question will be a part of the tutorial, prac, discussion, or a short question answer, depends on different subject. Pursue them there, those questions in a tutorial, because you have less number of people around the teacher or a tutor. You have more time to interact with the other peers, explain your understanding. Then straight away try to apply an assignment. That's where I say reading and remembering, the time is gone. It's all about understanding the concept and applying them into a situation you never get a help about. So assignment is always something unique nowadays. They make such a way even you can't help other students because his assignment, your assignment is different. The scenario is totally different. And lastly, I want to add on to it, which is very important, that from 3 weeks, less than 3 weeks if left to any assignment, you need to change your teacher. Say, look, I need assignment now, because otherwise it'll be hard. If some teachers, they're not very organized, unfortunately, they forgot to upload the assignment, it's not ready or whatever. This also shows the passion to the teacher. If you approach, look, I'm looking for assignment so I can start work on it, then they see like you are organized person, rather than you say it's better he's not giving me so we get more time to have it. That's wrong approach, because then you will have less weeks to work on them.